85% of the traffic neither stops, nor originates, nor at all in the state of Wyoming. So 85% of the traffic is a pass-through state. We have 410 miles of toughest road in all of America to take care of. And we can't do it with our low population of 580,000 people. So if we can take that money that we spend on that highway, which is about $60 million a year, we spend in maintenance and operations on that highway, and we can move it over to other roads and take the toll money, because you have to use all the money that you've gathered on tolls on that highway that you've tolled. So we'll take that millions of dollars and we'll put it on there, and we'll take care of I-80, we'll improve I-80, we'll get those third and fourth climbing lanes on certain hills, we'll put in more snow fence, we'll put in just incredible, make that a safer, more sound road, easier to drive, easier on the truck drivers. We're spending $60 million now. We need an additional $40 million just to keep it in the current condition. In 10 or 15 years, if we don't toll, we'll lose the current condition of that road. It'll deteriorate even further. And there's actually holes in some of those bridges you can see. The only person that can be exempted, the federal government owns that road, right? I-80 is an interstate project. So what I would do is I would say that WYDOT, you find a way to exempt Wyoming residents. The only way they've come up with so far is we'll take money, we'll ding every time a Wyoming registered vehicle drives through the cameras, we'll ding the federal mineral royalty, FMRs. So we'll ding the FMRs. They get about 60 million, 64 million to be exact, every year in FMRs. So we're paying the tolls, although we're paying it out of a different thing, a different bank account. That I cannot figure. There is a constitutional issue that some have brought up. There is nothing in the Constitution that says anything about letting the state toll a road. It says I can't privately give it to you to run this toll across this ferry or run this toll on this bridge. I can't give it to you, I can't give it to a county. But the state can do a general bill which says we'll do the most economical way of tolling a highway. And what does that lead to? And then we do the study real quick. You know, back in napkin, you can do the study and say I-80 because it has 12,000 some vehicles a day passing any one point, and 19,000 if you consider Green River to Rock Springs, because they have to. That's pretty much the only way you can get from one to the other. But they look at it and they say I-90, this road out here, doesn't have enough vehicles. I-25, not enough vehicles to even pay for the tolling system. And I-80 will pay for itself, and it'll take about back of a napkin to figure that out. That'll be tough. Right now, as we said, we're missing $40 million just to keep the current I-80 corridor in its present condition. I-15 or Highway 59, which is the 110 miles that you just drove yourself up from Douglas to Gillette. The oil field is really starting to hammer that road. And I don't think that they have any money other than to put another overlay on or occasionally dig an area up and work over the base. We're losing ground on our roads. We're not improving them at all. And so unless we toll and take I-80 out of the picture, because remember, it's gonna have $50 million above what it needs to operate. $50 million, that's at the 10 cents a mile toll. It'll have $50 million. They can replace those bridges over by Wamsutter. They can be $50 million. They can do lots of things on I-80 that they can't do today because they don't have any additional money. I personally don't think so. We're about 2008 budget, so 10 years ago budget. We're about 2009 employment, give or take. Yes, we had a lot of catch up to do. They'll talk about the expansion of the budget from 99 to 2008 or 9. And they'll talk about this huge expansion of the budget. That was a catch-up time. We needed to implement, and we had federal mandates that said you need to spend this money, but we needed to implement a lot of things that we were ignoring in the 90s because we didn't have the money. And so we're clear down the 2008 budget today, and 10 years later we're back spending the same amount of money. We've skinnied down this budget to the point where our state is not going to be able to manage to cut any more without cutting just services completely and turning these roads into dirt roads. I have some opposition. There is some people that don't understand the fact that the Wyoming registered vehicles won't pay this. We have the Trucking Association who is carrying the water for the national group, which doesn't want any existing roads to be tolled because it's a tax on them. We understand that. They're non-resident. They should be paying. We've heard up to 12,000 cars do the damage of one loaded truck. That's 12 to 14. I've heard as high as 14,000, but 12,000 is the number we use today. 12,000 cars for every truck. That means they'd have to pay 12,000 times basically what a car pays to drive across this state. A truck does pay a couple $100 more to drive across this state because they have to report the 410 miles and if they're a member of IFTA, international fuel taxes. But that's not 12,000 times what they should have paid, because they're going to take the trouble, they're going to do the damage to the roads. So Trucking Association and I think the truck stops on I-80 are a little excited about this, but I don't think they'll see any diversion, especially if we keep the tolls low enough.